all that I've been dreaming about. It is all too close. I got it all, but I'm paralyzed. I don't know which way to go. But I keep walking right into your arms. And even falling, I'm falling with you. I'm standing with you, God.
Hey everyone! Happy 200 classes! Woohoo! Happy day! Happy day! Oh, it's so exciting! Life is so excited mostly because I have cookies for him and he knows it. He knows what's going on. Wow, that was so quick. High five? I mean, high five is like there. How about try this way? High five. Thank you. My goodness, someone's excited. All right, full disclosure, y'all. I'm a little tired today. I know that's not the most motivating thing to hear your fitness instructor say, but I think it's realistic as a human being. Today we're gonna do a really lovely flow class, which is my favorite format. Some people love it. Is it my favorite format? I don't know. It's my favorite way to express my own self and gratitude to all of you. So I do hope you love it. I do hope you have some good feels throughout it. All you need is yourself and your mat. There's stretches, there's different patterns. It's all kind of coming off the top of my head, and that's the way I chose to celebrate this 200 class milestone, is just to kind of give you something from inside of me. And I hope that it really works for you. And I also want to encourage you to drop any fitness questions, any movement questions, any body sort of questions in the chat, and we'll try to just answer them in the time that we have here. We're gonna get going. So let's put our little timer on, make sure we're just about at the 35-minute mark. Your girl has some more physical therapy today, so hopefully this will serve as a warm-up for that. But right now, I would like you to stand around your pet and then just have your feet hip-width distance apart, and just take a moment to drop your weight into your heels, unlock your knees, give a little scratching. I've been working through an educational program that's encouraging us to do these little muscular reps, not for our muscles, but for our brain. And so it's kind of nice to just take a moment. 10 seconds is about the length of 3 breaths. So let's just drop our weight down. Let our shoulders drop down. Reach up through the crown of your head, and then take 3 breaths. Good. It's a beautiful way to just arrive in your space and get ready to practice. From here, we're just going to start to roll to the ball of our right foot, lifting our heel up, and then press down as if you're pressing your heel into sand, kind of making an impression into the mat. Go left side, just exploring each piece of our body, lifting the right, maybe getting a little stretch underneath the arch, and the left. And the right. One more, we'll do the left. And then let's start to lift the right heel, but bend the left knee. So you're dropping both knees down, dropping your hips down, and then come back to the center. Other side. And press down. So this time as we lift the heel, bend the knee, let's lift the shoulders. And then press down, other side. If at any point you're not sure what's going on in class, you just follow along, just make the movement feel good. Yeah, it doesn't matter about getting it right according to what I think is right. It matters that you feel good about what you're doing and that it feels like something you want to do. Let's go one more time each side. I tried to put one of my favorite playlists on today of all our royalty-free music. Let's reach our arms out to the side, open your chest, lift your heart. Open your palms And then we're gonna take the right arm over the left and just round your spine forward. Take a little knee bend here. And then reach up again. Open your heart, open your palms. Lots of gratitude for the space today. And then wrap in the other direction. Good, again, open. I'm rounding my upper back just a little bit as I bend. Last time. Exhale as we come forward. Open your arms out to the side. Lower your arms down. Reach your right arm down. Let your right ear fall. Go as far over as you can and then reach all the way up to the sky. Feel the opposition of both arms. And then bend. Bring yourself all the way up. Go to the other side. Find the side bend first. Then reach your arm up. Big stretch. And bring it all the way down. Let's do it again, this time reaching simultaneously through both arms. Come all the way back to center. And other side. All the way back to center. As we go over this time, bend your knees, reach. All the way to center as you stand. And then the other side. Do not like that sound. Flash one more time each side. Bend and reach. Good. All the way through center. And bend and reach. Coming up through center. All right, we're going to add on to that. So we're going to bend and reach over. And then we're going to round our hands towards our knees. So you're in a round back position here, tucking the tail under, hands to the knees. And then you can transition to the other side. And then as you stretch up, let's open our arms up to the sky. Don't fall back. Lift your chest. Go over to the left. So we go over. Then we round. Then we reach. Hi, love. And then we come up to the top. So it's kind of funny. In 200 classes, we've had a puppy that has grown up. Yeah, you have. Quite a bit into an almost 5-year-old. I can't even believe it. Last one to the left, over. All the plants have gotten bigger. I want to put together a little compilation for how far we've come. Open the chest and release. My hair has gotten longer for sure. Take your legs out a little wider. We're going to start to roll down. Bring your chin to your chest. Let everything come over. Take your hands to the ground and just let yourself hang for a minute. Maybe shake out your hips. That's it. Good. Let's bend our knees down. And then stretch them back up. And do it again. Bend. And stretch. Last two. Bend. And stretch. And last one, bend. Roll up through your spine. Good. All the way to the top. Roll your shoulders. This time we're going to take a little windmill. So let's roll down again. Reaching your hands to the ground. We're going to bend both knees. You can keep your fingertips down on the left hand, or you can put your whole hand down if that's available to you. And then open up your arm to the side. Good. Flash is bothered by me, but he doesn't want to leave. I know. Are our feet touching? It's weird, right? Good. Let's switch sides. Just bring that right hand down. Taking it up to the sky. Good. Bring that left hand down. Bend your knees a little bit more, and then swivel your heels in and toes out. So you're in a deep position, taking your hands onto your knees and just give it a little pulse to open up. All right, we've got a fitness question. Arthritis with improving fitness, losing weight, inflammation. Yeah. I don't know what the question is. I'm guessing it's how do I help all these things? Go 2, go 1. Let's rotate forward. Reach your heels down, take another stretch, and then roll all the way up through your spine. Good. All right, take your feet back to center, and then we're just gonna rise up on both heels. Just take a little test balance of your core connection, lower down. Often it's a little wobbly at the beginning. Lifting and lowering. Let's maybe take the arms out to the side. I'm just kind of feeling where my ribs are. Hopefully they're over your hips. Yeah, how do I solve it all? Good. Well, all right, so there are some things we can do to help in terms of arthritis. Ooh, that one wasn't good. Let's do one more. Lower. All right, so I am not a doctor and I can't see you all. So the information that's about to follow, take it with a grain of salt to your doctor, see if it works for you. I always tell my health coaching clients, if it doesn't work, then it's not your strategy. The end, okay? Or maybe it's not your strategy yet sometimes. All right, let's stand to the back of our mat. We're gonna take a nice roll down. So in the case of arthritis, let's walk out to your hands and knees now. It's so much, oh, sorry. Hi, okay, go lay down, bye. Love you. Flashy says bye-bye. All right, round your spine and then arch your back. Let's go through this about 4 times here. So in the case of arthritis, a lot of arthritis responds really well to systemic heat. So that's something that gets your whole body warm, whether that is a shower or a bath. Sometimes jumping on the rebounder, like just bouncing, health bouncing can help. Essentially, you're trying to help the juices of your joints stimulate to flow, so you have a little more lubrication in your joints. Here's our last one here. We're gonna come back to center, and then you have your right hand under your right shoulder. You're just gonna take your left hand over and point your fingers to the side, and we're gonna do a little off-center cat-cow here. So round up, and then look back and reach back. And round up again. So for a lot of us, we wanna think about, before we move, how can we get warm? Maybe that's 5-10 minutes on the rebounder, then maybe that's starting a day with like a hot shower or bath, or if you have access to a hot tub, sometimes that can help too. That's one strategy. Last one, looking over your shoulders, and then come back to center and let's go to the other side. So place your left hand down, point your fingers to the opposite side of the mat, and then round to stretch out your back. And release. And we'll do that about 4 times. The other thing is a little more labor intensive. Like, the unfortunate thing I've experienced as I've aged is that it's no longer just possible to jump into something without warming up or without kind of like, we think we can do the things we've always done, but that's not a full truth. Let's go one more time. And then release. What I mean by that is, unless you've been doing something consistently, you don't necessarily have the luxury of like just jumping back into a run, and there's a reason for that. Let's go ahead. We're gonna take our right leg forward into a little lunge. If you need help or holding on, you know what to do. Use a chair, use the wall. We're gonna just press forward through the hip here and open up the front of your hip. And then we're gonna stretch back today and just do the best you can to stretch out the bottom of your leg. If you can, flex and reach back for that hamstring stretch, go for it. I really need that today, so I'm gonna go for it. We're gonna press it forward, opening the hip, breathe into it, and then reach back. So, our tissues respond to stress in different ways, right? So exercise is something that's thought about as a positive stressor often. And sometimes we only think about it as a means of burning calories. So the thing is like, if you decide that you're gonna just suddenly take up running and you go out and you run hard and it feels good because your body is just like, oh, actually, I'm in a pretty good space. Let's bring it back. But you haven't done any prep for running, you haven't done any stretching, you haven't done any, preparation or conditioning. Let's go the other side. Chances are you feel pretty good on the run, and your recovery is gonna be whatever it's gonna be, depending on your personal level of fitness and anything else you're doing, and also your DNA. Let's go ahead and shift back. But your body is going to react to stress in ways that perceive it as either dangerous, like a sudden burst, like if you suddenly decide to do a 5K but you haven't done more than maybe a gentle walk. That's, yeah, sure, it's going to burn you some calories. Is it going to be received by your body as positive stress? Jury's out on that, So one of the things as we age that we need to consider is that if we want to do something, like run or lift or something that's more than we've been doing, that's awesome. And we have to prep our tissues a little bit for it. We have to see what those tissues can tolerate well, and then build upon that. And that's the difference between working with, honestly, a trainer who has certifications and knowledge about programming, last one, and somebody who maybe is just doing like a 30-day plank challenge on I was going to say on TV, on the internet, you know? Anybody can tell you to do planks in 30 days. Can people tell you exactly how to do it for your own self? Not so much. All right, come on down to your stomach. We're going to be in forearm position. And then we're just going to take a rounded spine, bring your chin into your chest, press your elbows down, open up your back, see if you can feel your shoulder blades separate. And then release, look up to the sky, and open up your heart. And again, rounding. So this is a quiet celebration of 200. Really, what I needed to do is listen to my body today. And hopefully by modeling that, I help you do the same. So, just to recap, arthritis really requires some attention, probably more than you want to give it, in terms of making sure your body's really warm, making sure you're working on strengthening your joints, and not going all out unless you've prepared your body to do so, honestly, you know? Good. Release. All right, come on down. Let's take our hands out to a T. I don't want to scream at you in this microphone, so I'm going to lay down with my left ear to the ground. We're going to bend our right knee up and just take a little twist. If this is uncomfortable, you can lay on your back and just twist your knee across your torso. But this is sometimes a nice little shoulder stretch and some good rotation in the back. Good. Let's come up through center. Lifting your head, looking in the other direction. Place your cheek down, and then lift, flex, lift up, and twist. And breathe. And there's some weight going into the shoulder that I'm twisting towards, but it's not so much that it's painful. Good. Let's rotate back to center, and then let's go one more time in each direction. Reaching, placing, pressing, and then the other way.
We're lying there on the bed above the sheets. No one's saying a word.
Good. Coming back to center. Slide your hands in, and then just press yourself up to whatever back bend you have today. Letting your hips rotate around your thigh bones. Coming on down. We're just going to do 4 of these, just bending the back. So we might not be doing like a ton of energy output in these exercises, but this is where we start to attend to the end of the spectrum that looks like rest and recovery, where we get things back online. Last one. Good. All right, let's roll over onto your back. We're going to do just a little low back release here. And what I want us to do is just start to press our hips up to open up the front of our hip flexors, and then lower all the way down. Let's do that a couple times. Just lifting open, powering up the back of our legs, just wakening up those hip joints. Good. Keep going. I'm going to read your comment, Tracy. Lift. Yeah. Good. I'm glad that helped. Couple more. One of the things that's really hard is just, there's a bit of acceptance, but it doesn't mean that you have to be like sad about it. Maybe there is a little grief when you have to change the way you move. That's definitely something that I am working with now. Last one. Good. Bring it all the way down. Let's take your arms out to a T here and take the twist of your knees over to one side. If you like, you can place your bottom foot on top of your top knee and just get a little more twist, quad stretch, etc. Big breath, release. and then let's go in the other direction. But here's the thing, I think sometimes people, they get to a certain age and it's like, you know, somebody told them that it's time to stop. And it's not time to stop moving when you age, it's time to change the way you approach it. So that means there's a little more focus. Let's come back to center. All right, come back up into your bridge here. So we're gonna press up to the top, and then we're going to pretend that our hips are on top of a shelf, and you're just gonna slide them over to one end of the shelf and slide them to the other. And you might notice that they slide a little more easily in one direction than the other. You're just doing the best you can to slide them evenly and at the same level. This is really great for your low back. Good. Let's come back to center after this one. And then lower your hips down maybe an inch. So just a little lower, then we'll slide side to side. Breathing and going. So I think it's natural and normal to grieve the way that you used to move when you were younger and maybe didn't have conditions that were, you know, just holding you back from doing that sort of movement. But what I've found through navigating through the past literally 3 years, go ahead and come back to center, drop your hips down one more time, and you're just gonna graze the mat as you slide side to side. We're just trying to bring some movement into the low joints of our spine. What I've found is that you don't have to lessen your intensity per se, you just have to prepare for it a little differently. So, for example, for me, I just can't jump into anything anymore. So I have all the things that I need to do to keep myself feeling good baked into my daily stuff. Just like brushing my teeth, I gotta do my foot exercises, you know? Just like watching my favorite shows at night, I gotta do my hamstring stretches when I'm down there. Come back to center, curl your tail under, and then release all the way down. And just let it rest there for a second. And then take your knees over to one side. Hopefully that felt a little easier. Pull them back to center. Take them to the other side. Yeah, you can always tell when things start to open up by the willingness that your body has to move in. So like when your back is stiff, people are kind of like, oh, a twist, I could, oh. But when your back is loose, it's like bronk, right? So we're gonna go up again and do another one. So we're gonna press the hips up to the sky. And this time I want you to just imagine you have a big steering wheel, like around your hips, and you're gonna turn to the left, and you're gonna turn to the right. Your knees stay facing and pointing in the same direction, and you just rotate your hips side to side. Just keep those arms out to the side. There is a level of reclamation, if you will. It sounds like a big, serious word, but you know, reclaiming your movement practice as you get older. I see a lot of people who they just subtract their movement practice as they get older because their body isn't necessarily like craving it. But a lot of times their body isn't craving it because they've never given it something new to crave. It's like if you only eat vanilla ice cream your entire life and you never taste anything else, then like at some point vanilla is not going to be super exciting anymore, and maybe you're just like, I don't know, I'll pass it. I could pass. Movement is the same way. If you only do it the same way, and then you know there's nothing exciting that you feed into it. Last couple, then you end up, come to center, roll down through your spine. You end up kind of missing out on that craving. Let's go. Blanc. Oh, much better. Come to center. So this is what I'm talking about. Like right now, we're not doing a ton of burning per se, but we're really doing a good deal of tissue work, which is good stuff for your body. All right. So we're going to do a little core conditioning, and then we're going to move into a couple exercises. So let's bring our knees into our chest. You can hang on with the backs of your legs here if you like, with your hands behind, or you can take your hands up to the knees. And if this is too much, you can always just do one knee at a time. So we're going to push the knees into the hands, push the hands into the knees. And then in the center, as you start to push, you're probably going to feel a little core connection, a little fiery good morning happening there. So that's great. We want to push and create a bond until you feel that core kick in. So if you don't feel it yet, keep pushing and just breathe. And then if you can, you want to take like just 1 gram of weight out of your tailbone. It's not huge, it's just a little bit. Just helping you drop your weight into your pelvis a little bit more. As you're breathing, as you're pushing, as you're holding, you're probably feeling a little quiver happening, and that's okay. We're gonna be here for a few more breaths. Good, and release. These are the exercises that look like nothing and they feel like a lot inside, okay? These are the heat builders. Okay, so let's come up again. Flex your feet, hands on your knees, press your knees into your hands, hands into your knees. Take that tiny little gram of weight out of your tailbone. And then let's take your left hand on top of your right and go ahead and extend your left leg as far out. You can already hear the effort in my breath and my voice here. Try not to arch your back off because you're keeping this nice strong core connection between your hand and your knee. We're holding it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back in, hug your knees in. Bring it back up. Hands on the thighs. Press your thighs into your hands. Take that gram of weight out of your pelvis, out of your tailbone. Right hand on left hand. Extend your left leg out on the diagonal, someplace you can sustain, someplace you can breathe with. Push more from your leg and your arm. Holding here for 3, and 2, and 1, and come all the way in. All right, almost there. 2 more little times, okay? So this time, we're gonna take both hands on top of the right knee. We're gonna push the right knee up into your hands, and let's curl the head, neck, and shoulders forward. You can, of course, do this with your head down if you like. You're gonna extend your leg out and keep it right there. So we're gonna play with that little tailbone. We're gonna take a little gram of weight out of the tail, and then we're gonna lower that gram of weight back down. Just a little tilt of the pelvis back, and release. Tilt the pelvis back, and release. These are all super small, but very deep. Good. Keep pushing your knee into your hand. Go 3. And 2. And 1 more. Good. Bring your knee into your chest, lower down. Hands go to the other side. Hopefully you're feeling that one. All right, let's curl up. Extend your other leg long, push your knee up into your hand, and again, you're taking a little gram of weight out of your tail and then releasing it down. Take it out and release. Take it out, release, and out, and release. Let's go 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Bring it all the way in. Lower both feet down. Right away, press your hips up, arms down by the side, slide on that shelf again, side to side. Just about 8 at each level. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, lower a couple inches, and then side to side. You can do this in as many increments as you want. I'm just trying to do a little faster version. Good. Come back to center. Lower until your hips graze the mat and slide across the mat for 8 times. There's still light on the mat. You're just sliding and moving them across. Good. And then come back to center. Curl your tailbone under. Let your back get wide. Arms out to a T. Knees go junk. Much easier, hopefully. Back to the center. Other side. All right. Hopefully we've had some good rotation happening here. We're going to take our hands up to the sky, legs closer together. Let your knees go to the right and let your left arm open out to the side. Just reach your right arm on the diagonal. See if you can find a twist happening right in the center of your core. Breathe, let your spine move as much as you can. And you're going to bring those arms back to center. Press your shoulder down, bring your waist back to center. We'll go the other side. Over, and then open that arm out, reach on the diagonal. Check in with your spine, see if you are holding anything down. What I mean by that is that sense of like gripping in your waist. You want to get a lot of mobility here. And then bring your arm back up and come back to center. Here, let's do it one more time. Reach over, open the arm, look in that direction. Can you let anything go for more twist? Bring it back up to center. Waist comes down. And last time, over and reach. Big breath in, big breath out. And then bring it back up to center and come back to center. And then let's rock ourselves up to a seated position. Okay, put our wires back in. We're gonna do another little rotation activity. You know, like everybody's like, you gotta do squats. I mean, I like a good leg workout, but there isn't anything that takes the place of spinal mobility like actually practicing spinal mobility. And I was talking with a neighbor the other night. We were talking about how the cameras in the cars now, people don't have to turn around. I used to work at a very high level, wealthy older women's establishment, and all we did was work on turning our heads so they could parallel park their cars in the city. And now they get the cameras, so they don't need to do that, but that doesn't mean that it's not important for them to turn their heads. We gotta turn our heads, right? All right, so we're gonna be here in our little Z sit. Press your right, that's your left hip. If you're mirroring me, press your left hip forward so it opens, and then drop it down. Now, a lot of people say this isn't comfortable. I know. A lot of us aren't sitting on the floor on a regular basis, just moving back and forth between these two. So, you know, sometimes exploration isn't comfortable. If you want to sit on a yoga block under this hip or on a pillow, or even just try to fashion this movement from a chair, that could be an alternative for you. Let's go a couple more. And the last one. Good. All right, so now we're going to take our hand onto this leg over here to hang on. We're going to take the right hand across to the left shoulder, and then we're just going to twist and turn, and then come back to center. So it's like you're pulling this shoulder around. If you want to hold on to a different point on your knee, you feel like you could get more rotation, but your hip is lifting just like we did, and you're turning back and then coming back to center. So we're starting to work a little coordination of your hips, your spine, your shoulder blades, your neck, and your eyes to rotate around. And back to center. A couple more. And last one. Good. Come back to center. All right. Hold here for a second. We're going to do one more to twist. So take your arm up, reach as far over as you can into that rotation. Take your head over your left shoulder, take your chin over your right shoulder, and do that a couple times. Don't make yourself dizzy, but just try to find your way. Good. Last one. Land over your right shoulder and then take your eyes left, just your eyes. Your eyeballs right, eyeballs left, eyeballs right, eyeballs left, back and forth a couple times until you do feel a little dizzy, and then blink them open, come back to center, relax. And then go back to your first twist and see if there's any more available to you like that. Pretty cool, right? Let's go the other side. So we'll be in that fourth position. We're pressing the hip open, and then we're rocking it down. So again, these aren't like your big caloric burners, but they are like these magical mobility exercises that really help you feel great for the rest of the day. It's just like so hard in a world that says if you're not sweating or throwing up while you're working out, it doesn't matter. Guess what? That's not what we're doing here on this channel. We're doing nourishing movement, and there's plenty of sweating and working out until you puke on the other channels. So, you know, there's lots of them. All you gotta do is look for thumbnails with like a way up close shot of somebody's butt in leggings, and you know that you are pretty much on your way to a sweating until you feel like you're gonna throw up workout. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, good, I'm glad you needed this one, Tracy. I needed it too. Sometimes we just have to force ourselves into doing the, you know, eating the veggies, so to speak. All right, come on back. Let's take your hand to your ankle, your knee, wherever it needs to be. Take your left hand over. We're rotating to the side and coming back to center. And rotating over and back to center. And you just take your eyes as far as you like. If the pace is too fast for you, please feel free to slow it down. The great thing about doing these nourishing little exercises is that when you do them, you're going to find that they do actually translate to the more intense exercises. And that's kind of a gift, you know? Unfortunately, the intense exercises don't translate over to the subtleties of your joint lubrication. Not always, at least. Sometimes you get warm and you feel real good, but they don't necessarily, after an intense exercise, you know you've done something. You don't necessarily feel like, oh my God, the world is brighter. You're just like, where's my water? Let's go one more time. Let's go chin over right shoulder, chin over left, and back and forth. And believe me, I know this because I teach both of them, and there's definitely a different personality that comes out. And unfortunately, the personality that teaches strength and rebounding is not the one. She's the pusher. She's not the caregiver necessarily. Let's go back. Land your chin over your left shoulder and then take your eyes to the right. Eyeballs left, eyeballs right, eyeballs left, eyeballs right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Do a little scrambling there and then come back to center. And then just see if you move your arms. Do you have a good amount of twist? And then let's actually go down to the mat one more time and take your arms out and just blunk. Oh, we got it. That's better for me. It's that speed and the ability for my leg to drop all the way down that's helpful for me. Makes walking more easy. All right, come on up. We're gonna do 2 more little stretches. All right. Yeah, it is healing. Healing. Let's reach your left leg long, take your right foot inside, sit up nice and tall, and we're just gonna walk forward. Oh, hi, Colleen. So good to see you here. Thank you so much for your messages. You and Dick also, so good. The gang's all back together, we love it. All right, you have that flat back, as flat as possible, then we're gonna let it go forward and breathe for a moment. And just see if you can approach the side of your back with a little breath to open it up. Can you let it go a little more? And then slowly walk all the way back up. And then we're going to turn to the other side. Nice and easy. Lift and lengthen, and then reach. Actually, flat back first. See how I wanted to drop over as soon as possible. It's just a tired day. And for those of you who, work with chronic illness or autoimmune, these days are what comes with it. For everybody, honestly. But, sometimes there's a point. Let's start to bring our body forward. There's days where I wake up and I just know, this is going to be a day where if I push it, I'm going to pay for it. And so I always want to make sure that I'm making a choice for myself that just makes sense for my energy levels. And I hope you can do the same thing. Saying that, I also know that I tend to push it a lot, so I'm not immune to that truth. Good, let's walk up. All right, let's do one more little straddle, opening those inner thighs. Doing the best you can, maybe bend your knees for a moment, sit up nice and tall, and then just hinge, think flat back. You're folding at your hips, you're just trying to get a little inner thigh stretch, as much or as little as you can. As your brain starts to panic, breathe. Thank you, Joy, appreciate it. Yeah, my goal for this channel is to continue to grow it in really organic ways, and so as much as I want to push all the things all the time, I really wanted to bring a confetti gun today and all the things, and you know what? Sometimes my body just goes, sorry, your ambition today needs to be lower. So showing up authentically in these gentler, kinder, formats, let's just cross our legs, is a way to model that for my own ears and for yours as well. We're in it for the long game, as we always say on this channel, and it is about lots of care. So let's just finish today with a little breathing and intention. It's been 200 classes. Most of those of you who are live right now have watched all of them, and there's certainly more to come. Let's think about our movement and what we've experienced over the past few years when the plants were babies and Flashlight was a baby and I had shorter hair to what we've experienced now. There's been a lot of growth in our community here and a lot of growth individually. So if there is one message of just encouragement that you could give to yourself right now, what would that be? Take a moment to think about that. How could you convey that you're doing a good job? Because I think often the most important ears to hear your thoughts and your voice are your own. And as you think about this, let's just take 3 deep breaths. And so here's your little 200 class assignment. Hopefully you came up with something really great to tell yourself. And if that's the case, I would love for you to share that in the chat. What's really great about community, and especially the world is full of so much self-help and optimization work, it becomes less individualized and like small when you share with another person. Now, what I don't mean is tell another person what to eat, how to exercise, or what to do. What I do mean is offering another person a word of encouragement based on what they're doing already, or asking them a question and listening to their answer. Those are 2 ways that you can take your own experience and offer it out into the world. I know there's no shortage for me of people giving me things that they know I would love, but they don't have the context of the fullness of my life and how making space for something usually means that I have to, actively be curious about it. Rarely does it come from a suggestion unless somebody is like in the inner circle knowing what's going on. And I think it's important to remember, like, when I'm talking to somebody else, I ask them questions to hear about their wellness and their initiatives and what they're doing and why that's important for them, rather than picking up on one buzzword and telling them all the things I know about it. And believe me, y'all know I know a lot about a lot in terms of health and wellness. So, just listening and asking questions and sharing words of encouragement can be the best way we support each other. I'm glad I keep you moving. Really great work. I will learn to do more than survive perimenopause. Heck yeah! I mean, yeah. There's a great deal of opportunity in this stage of life, and there is a great deal of grief. So we don't want to discount the grief. We want to create a container in our mind and our hearts and our bodies to make space for both, to let that grief be heard, to listen to it, to say, man, it sucks that I can't do the things that I used to be doing or I used to love. But also look at the opportunity portion and say, well, maybe I can go after this a different way. Maybe I can find a different way of feeling the enjoyment that's similar to what I felt when I was maybe a little younger. So those are my words of wisdom today, everybody. I hope that you had a great 200 celebration. We will do more boisterous celebrations in the years to come. Today is about coming inside and feeling gratitude and having our lights turn out in the middle of the thing. So here, this is my face. There's the light that's still on. Here's to imperfect YouTube channel classes forever and always. Big love to all of you. Have a great rest of your week. Make sure you check out the schedule. I will have it up by Sunday, and I look forward to moving with you. Thank you, everybody.